So last lesson on Friday, we have talked about what is science, and also I also mentioned three important nature of science. So the first one is science is based on evidence. So when every time we got some new ideas or we have some new scientific knowledge, it is supported with evidence. And how can we um, show, okay, the evidence? In fact, we need to conduct an experiment, okay? And apart from the science is based on evidence, these nature of science, we also notice that in fact the scientific knowledge is subject to change. So as we do have new evidence come out, and these new evidence may be proved to us that there is some new scientific knowledge. So in this case, we'll revise the old idea and raise, okay, some new idea so that the scientific knowledge is subject to change. Then, okay, we've got the third nature of science is that the scientific knowledge, it do has the limitation. Now, what means limitation? It's something that we cannot achieve, okay, or there is something that causes cannot achieve. Now, for science, we do have some limitation. For example, we don't know whether there is any life or any life forms on other planets, or we cannot completely cure the cancer. Okay, so of course, we also cannot accurately, quickly predict when we will have the earthquake, etc. So in this case, we do have a lots of questions and lots of missing links in our science. So in this case, we can see that scientific knowledge, it do has the limitation. Then, okay, we also do some quick check and also we also work on some exercise. Then, I would like to go through something that is new, which is that I have mentioned that it is some factual informations, and I hope we can cover in this videos. Now, the first thing that I want to revise with you would be the distinguish. Okay, how can we distinguish or the definition of discoveries and also invention? Now, we do have a lot of discoveries and we do have a lot of inventions. Now, normally, once we discover something, then, okay, we will invent something. Okay, for example, we discover the bacteria, we make something new. Okay, for example, maybe we make the drugs. Okay, so in this case, okay, we have already go through this path. But then, okay, apart from the application or the impact in science is only just on discovery and also invention. We also have another part that we need to focus is how we use our scientific knowledge in our natural resources management. Because for our natural resources, it is limited. We do not have sufficient, okay, natural resources for all the people on the earth. Then how can we easily or effectively use these natural resources? That is one of the major concern in our science. For example, like the freshwater plants, animals, the meats or the herbs, in fact, it is insufficient. For example, for a tree to grow, maybe it takes 10 years, 100 years, but every day we need a lot of herbs, we need a lot of vegetables, we need a lot of fruits. So in this case, okay, we cannot get enough. Then how can we do? Okay, actually, okay, we have a lot of scientific research or a lot of scientific method for us to being invented, okay, to help us to increase the productivities of these natural resources. So in this case, we can ensure the continuous supply of these natural resources. Now, how, okay, does the science play a key role in it? Now, for example, we do have fossil fuel, and it is one of the main source for generating the electricity. But now we no longer use the fossil fuel because fossil fuel is something that is limited. Okay, once we burn, then nothing. Okay, gone. Okay, then in this case, we will change maybe another ways for us to obtain these electricity. For example, we obtain the solar energy, we use the wind power in order for us to generate the electricity. Then in this case, we can reduce the use of fossil fuel, and this can keep, okay, the sufficient amount of fossil fuel so that other generations can be used. Now, apart from that, for example, metals, we keep, okay, extracting metals from all over the world, okay? But then, okay, we do have another ways for us to extract the metal is from those waste metal, okay? So scientists develop a lot of ways to recycle the metals, okay? So in this case, the metals can be reused in different kinds of materials or used as the raw materials. So we can save, okay, the metal reserve in the nature. Now we can see that using the scientific knowledge, we can manage the natural resources more effectively. Now, then, okay, apart from the natural resources that we can effectively use, we can also, okay, see that actually scientific knowledge is often applied to develop technology. So many useful products are created to make our life easier or to make it better. Now, for example, we do have some biotechnology. For example, the previous, like the COVID-19 vaccine, is also the use of science. Okay, we try to use of science to improve our technology so that we can immune, okay, or we can isolate from the disease. So apart from that, maybe we do have some nanotechnology. Maybe we have applied a coating, or we do have some special treatment to the clothes. So in this case, there will be stain resistance to the clothes. Apart from that, okay, maybe we do have some robotic technologies or we have some wireless communications technology, and these apply a lot of scientific knowledge. So in order for us to solve our daily problems, so we will try to integrate science, technology, and mathematics together. So this is why you will have the STEAM lesson or the STEM lessons during our curriculum. So, for example, in the COVID-19 time or the pandemic time, when we try to fight for the COVID-19, we do apply the STEAM idea. Okay, so for example, we will use the science. We will understand how the cause of COVID-19 and develop some treatments for cure the disease. Apart from that, we will also use some technology to develop some machines or some methods for us to rapidly detect the COVID-19 and also the production of the mask. And lastly, we got the mathematics for us to use, okay, the statistic to trace the infections and find the effectiveness of some new medicines, okay? So we can see that, okay, the applications and implications of the science, in fact, okay, it is applied it in our developments of the technology. So when we're solving some daily life problem, we often integrate and apply the knowledge and skills of science and technologies and mathematics together so that we can work, okay, together to solve these problems. So, is it really that science, the application of science is always good, or is it there is no any harms? Sorry, it is not the case. It's like that, okay? So, application of science, of course, it can bring us the advancement of technology, but at the same time, it can harmful to us if we misuse it. Now, for example, we have the plastic, we invent the plastic, but it brings us convenience to us, but it also cause problems that if we overuse these plastic, it will produce a lot of waste and lead to the pollution. Now, here are two examples that it is the applications of science, and this may cause both benefits to us and also harmful to us. Now, for example, the nuclear technology. For the nuclear technology, we can use, okay, the nuclear technology to generate electricity. But at the same time, when we misuse it, then in this case, the nuclear bomb may be very disruptive, and when they are used in war, they can kill a lot of people. Then, apart from that, okay, for example, the drugs, okay, it is beneficial to us. We can take the drugs to cure the disease, okay, but if we misuse it or we overuse the drugs, then this may be cause us to addicted and this may harm our health. So we can see that the applications of science bring benefits to us. However, they can also be harmful if we misuse them. Now, maybe let's just do a few more examples to it, okay, or a few more quick checks to us. Now, scientists have discovered many products, okay, that have greatly improved our daily life. So remember, improve our daily life. In fact, we are talking about invention, but not discovery, okay? So in this case, the statement is wrong, it's not correct. Now, then the second one, okay, using the scientific knowledge, we can manage the natural resources more effectively. So it would be correct or wrong. So it will be definitely, it will be correct. Okay. So because using the scientific knowledge, we can manage the natural resources more effectively. Now, the third question, the application of science can be harmful to us, definitely. For example, when we have the nuclear technology, it can be used in making the nuclear bomb, then it can kill a lot of people. So in this case, it could be harmful to us. So lastly, I want you to turn to the section exercise. I want you to quickly complete a pause of videos and quickly complete this section exercise and see how's your understanding in this chapter. Okay. So maybe let us resume, okay, the videos if you have already complete, okay? So now in this case, which of the following belongs to science? To understand how the rainbow forms, so this is something related to physics, to the light, okay? To explain why we breathe, okay, faster when we do exercise, so this is something that related to the biology, okay? To find out, okay, what causes the extinctions of the dinosaur. So in this case, it is something related to geology. So in this case, the answer, it would be D. Now, then the second question, which of the following statement about science are correct? So science is based on evidence. So definitely it is true. Scientific knowledge is do have its own limitations. Yes, it is. So the applications always bring benefits to us only. So is it only brings benefits to us? So in this case, we will notice that it's no, because it can bring harmful to us. So in this case, the answer it will be 1 and 2. Then, okay, in ancient time, okay, people suggested that the sun is moved around the earth. With more observations using the powerful telescope, now scientists find the evidence to prove that the earth moves around the sun. So in this case, we can see that, okay, based on these statement, actually, science cannot explain everything, okay? And it can see that, okay, the scientific knowledge is subject to change. And while science is based on evidence, so we need to show the pictures, okay, maybe some observations using the powerful microscope or the, sorry, not microscope, the telescope to find the evidence to prove that, okay, the Earth is moved around the sun, okay? So in this case, these two nature of science has been seen, okay, in the above statement. Now, for example, we can see that, okay, this smartphone is now very popular today. So whether smartphone is a scientific discovery or it is a scientific invention. So definitely it's something that we make new, right? Some new things that made out by our humans. So in this case, it would be definitely the scientific invention. Okay, next. Okay, one benefits brought about by the smartphone. So I think most of you should know what it is. So one of the things maybe for the boys, it would be you can have the games, the video games to play, okay, or we have the more convenience communications for the girls, and also maybe it will allow us to have the portable internet access. So these is some benefits that the smartphone uh, provide to us. Then how about if we overuse, okay, the smartphone, suggest one harm to our health, suggest one, okay? So in this case, definitely we may have the problems of short sight. For example, maybe your parents will tell you that, oh, don't use the phones too close because you may got the short sight, or we may have headache or shoulder pain if we use for a long time without a break. So etc. and etc. Okay, so this is some harmful things that our health may the smartphone may bring to our health. Okay. So this will be the end of the e-learning part. So I hope, okay, you can get brief ideas to us to what chapter 1.1 teacher of science is and what science can brings to us. Okay, for example, the discovery, what is invention, and what is the um, why or how the science bring benefits to us, or how science, okay, it can bring harm to us. Okay, so I hope, okay, you can complete this part and maybe can do some revision on it. And next lessons, we will move on to talk about 1.2, the independent variables, dependent variable, and also the control variable.